What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy, and I'm coming at you with another game review. If you didn't see it there at the beginning, I'm reviewing a game called Stacking today. This is one of those Xbox 360 backwards compatible kind of games that I'm playing on my Xbox One. I've already gone through the entire story. So the basic premise of it for the story is that you're in a poor family, just barely scraping by. Your father goes missing, and then other people, like your siblings, I guess, in relation to Charlie Blackmore here, other people in your family go trying to find your father, but then they all end up missing themselves, and so then you have to kind of set out on your own little adventure thing. So, anyway, as you start your journey, you end up in something like this place with, you have sort of a hobo friend that you meet up with, and he decides he's gonna help you out at first and also chronicle your adventures. These kind of paintings or whatever on the walls show you sort of the different level areas within the game, and it also keeps track of different things that you find and puzzles you solve and stuff like that. And that's where most of the content of this game comes in. There's a lot of it that involves just going around and finding other dolls. Like the main gameplay premise of this is pretty much like Russian nesting dolls. I realize that might not exactly what they are. That might not exactly be what they are. Words, what are they? But like you start off as Charlie, who's super small, and you gotta find your way around, and you have to find other dolls like this that you stack up with. Thus the name Stacking. And each doll that you stack with will have like a different ability or something that you could use. And some of those abilities are necessary for trying to solve different puzzles within this game. But there's a lot more than just solving puzzles if you really want to like 100% complete the game. I'm going to go into the menus here to help. So, as you're trying to get through kind of the main story aspects of the game, you will come across these challenges, and each one, you kind of sort of have a clue, maybe, of what to do. They don't give you the names of the solutions necessarily, but they'll give you the names of the challenges at first, and you have to go through different ways of completing those challenges. I mean, you really only need to do one way per challenge if you just want to get through like the main story or whatever of the game. But if you want to completely 100% go through the entire game, then you have to do all the different methods of those. And maybe if I go to a different area, I could give you a little more info on that stuff. Because when you haven't done all the solutions Oh, I might have done all the solutions to all of these, too. Yeah, I did. Okay, well, anyway. So you have these different challenges. And whatever ones you haven't already completed, there will be an option to get a little bit of a hint if you're kind of stuck on trying to find a way to solve it. So that's... I think the fact that that is an optional thing is a good approach, because, like, if you're seriously stuck, and or you just don't want to take a lot of time on it, you can, like, press X when you're on one of these challenges to give a hint. It eventually gives up to 3 hints, and the third hint makes it about as obvious as possible what you need to do. So then, yeah, the fact that that's optional, though, leaves it up to you. Like, if you want to go through the challenges and figure them out on your own, even the various ways of solving those challenges, you can do that. So the fact that it's not, like, forced one way or the other, I think is a good approach to it. But anyway, in addition to the challenges, there are collections for each stage within the game, and as you can see, I've gotten all of the ones for this stage, but basically there are certain, like, special, possibly even exclusive to that stage, dolls that you can find, and if you find any of those, they get added to your collection here, which then shows up in kind of those, like, painting highlight areas in that area at the start that I mentioned, where you have your hobo friend chronicling your adventures and whatnot, because he'll also keep track of those collections, and there are different puzzle pieces that'll show up, where if you've gotten all the solutions to a certain challenge, you'll see a complete picture, but if not, you see like a little puzzle piece missing out of a picture. Anyway, in addition to those, there are also things called hijinks, which you kind of just have to look at the different names of the hijinks, and that's about all the more of a hint that you get. If you're going to absolutely 100% complete the game, I assume you need to do all of those, but this is probably the hardest aspect of trying to 100% complete the game. But it's one of those things where, because it has such a heavy emphasis on all of that, and it's like smacking you in the face with it the entire time, it kind of almost encourages you to try and 100% complete the game. Because otherwise, like, you'll see these challenges and you'll see that, oh wait, there are more solutions than the one that you found. Or you go over to the collection and it's like, oh hey, there are dolls that are missing that you need to find. Or, I mean, a number of these you might have to find and use just to complete some of the challenges, especially if you want to do all the different methods of solving those. But the hijinks, that's like a almost completely optional thing. Like, there aren't too many hijinks that you will completely and naturally just find and do while you're going through, you know, the challenges and just trying to solve those to get through the game. I mean, there are some that you could certainly stumble across, and then it's like, oh hey, let me go off to the side here and do this particular thing enough times. But otherwise, yeah. Oh yeah, there's also an archive of the different conversations that you've had in a certain place, I guess. Or, no, that's just in general. But you can look specifically, I think, within different missions and story plot lines and stuff like that. The objective is where you would normally see, like, hey, here's what you need to do next to advance the story. But I've gotten all the way through that already. So, anyway, yeah. Some of these things, you just kind of, I don't know. It's interesting taking control of the different dolls sometimes and just seeing what they do. So I think there's, on the whole, a lot that I actually like about this game. The fact that it's kind of accessible to various types. Oh, sorry, that thing I just did there is actually really helpful for if you're trying to, like, say, complete a certain collection. There are some of the dolls that will actually, if you go around and press A, they will highlight specific other dolls that it's like, oh, hey, this is a really special one. If you want to complete your collection, you need to, you know, stack yourself up with this one. But, yeah, anyway. Oh, and some of them, there are actually, like, whole sets that you find, like this. This one's supposed to be just, like, an illusionist family set. But anyway, so, yeah, I was talking about various things that I like about this game. I like that it is... it's accessible enough and gives you, you know, a possible easy option for completing the basic story. Which, you know, means if there are any kids that would play this, that's definitely a good thing to have for them. Because then, you know, as I mentioned with the hints and stuff for these challenges, if they really get stuck, there's a clear, obvious thing that they can do to help them out a little bit and, you know, not necessarily continue being stuck for a really long time. Yeah, that's an example of something that you would do that would be considered one of the hijinks. If you complete the whole thing, I'm trying to think of which one. That's probably all wrapped up. No, I don't know. It's one of these things, I think. You're not mummifying them. From the Argyle illusion, that's what it is. So, if you complete the hijinks thing enough times, then whatever doll is used for that will have part of them turn gold. As you see the golden hat on this particular character. But anyway, I guess that's another way other than just looking at the list to know if you've completed a certain hijinks thing like that. And then just having all the different collectibles and hijinks and stuff like that to add some more kind of replay value to the game, I think also helps, because otherwise this would be a really short game, to be completely honest. I really did not spend all that long getting through the story. Probably half the time I spent so far in this game or more was just on, like, doing the extra stuff, you know? Like, doing all the different solutions for the challenges or completing collections. I still haven't done all the hijinks on any area, I don't think. But yeah, the fact that there's all that stuff to do that adds replay value is something good for this game, because as I said, otherwise it would be really short. And it's not exactly a big game anyway. But having more stuff to do means kind of that you get more of your quote-unquote money's worth. I didn't pay for this, as is the usual for me, but, you know, for those of you who might want to buy the game, it would get you more value for your money if you know, take advantage of all the different hijinks and collections and different things like that. I'm trying to remember who I need to talk to get out of this place, but whatever. Not that I really need to get out of this place. But yeah, so having multiple different things to do in the game, and just, yeah. Various things to do, help with the storyline when needed, and yeah, I mean, it's a small game on the whole. It's like, I think 1.6 gigs. But considering how small of a game that it is, and how cheap you'd probably be able to get it, there's a fair amount to do. And I like the concept of it, the fact that, you know, the driving force behind the gameplay is just stacking yourself up with different dolls and combinations of dolls. Some of the puzzles even require you to have specific combinations at the ready, so that, like, you could do one doll's ability and then unstack and do the other doll's ability quickly afterward. And if you see these birds flying around here, there's actually a possibility of stacking into them, which can be a very significant thing for solving certain puzzles. Oh, look at that. It has like a golden sailor hat now because I completed that little... I don't know how that... I wouldn't define that as hijinks, but whatever. Anyway. So yeah, the premise of the game, I think, is nice. It's a good idea for just a general puzzle game kind of thing, that you need these different dolls and combinations of dolls to solve the puzzles in the first place. And I mean, the story is meh. It's whatever. But that's probably not what you're ultimately going to end up playing this game for. And otherwise, I mean, like I said, really, really accessible, and gives you plenty of options for, you know, if you just want to do the basics, or if you want to do a whole lot more. You know, given the challenges and collections and hijinks and whatnot. So, on the whole, solid game, I would say. I guess maybe that puts it at like an 8, maybe even an 8.5 if you don't care much about story. Yeah, no really major flaws with the game, I would say. Sometimes it can get a little bit frustrating if you're looking for a very specific kind of doll and you can't seem to find it. But that's about the only way that you could ever truly get stuck in this game. And getting stuck is one of those things that I really have a hard time with in video games. So yeah, otherwise, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of talking in circles now, which means I should probably wrap this up. So, those are my thoughts in general on the game stacking. Yeah. If you have any other thoughts to add or anything like that, feel free to let me know down in the comments section. Wow, really haven't done too many hijinks in this place. Anyway, so I guess overall that'll do it. As always, like and share if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to get updates when I post new stuff. Look down in the description for info on my other social media pages and how to find and follow those. And as I mentioned earlier, leave comments down below with any thoughts that you have on this game or other games you want me to play, review, any video ideas you have. Let me know down below. So, that's going to do it. I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I will see you for the next video. But until then, stay cool, people.